How are you guys? It's Dr. Liz, or I'm Dr. Liz Jenkins with drlizcoaching.com, and welcome. Welcome to day 25 inside couples conflict. And today we're going to be talking about really starting to identify those areas or those issues or those topics that we can compromise on, that we already know that there's some give or you'll accept some influence from each other, as well as we want to identify those issues, topics, hot spots, danger zones in which we know that right now there is no area of compromise. There's a no go hard line in the sand. And that's okay. In fact, that's really typical of successful couples, is that even in successful couples, I think that's part of what makes them successful, is they know that there's areas that have give or topics that there's give. And they also very clearly understand that there's some areas that I'm not going to sway you on this and you're not going to sway me on that. And so we learn to live with this unresolvable, um, kind of locked in position. And we create strategies. We create ways of respectful interacting with one another that don't keep kind of slapping the bull or creating unnecessary arguments, conflicts, because we are gridlocked on that topic. Okay, and so successful couples understand that, they talk about that, and they figure out ways to set that aside or live or with it or make some decisions around that for themselves and their relationship. Couples that typically remain in these repetitive patterns of fighting and arguing and over same issues over and over and over. One, we want to identify what those issues are. Where are those no-go things? And what's below the surface? Because maybe what we're dug in about isn't really what we're fighting about or what I think I'm defending. Okay. So maybe I have a teenage child and I am defending their ability to go to sleepovers or be active in school activities or go travel during the summer vacation with family or friends. And I think that that's what they should be allowed to do and they need to do at their age. Okay. So and maybe my spouse isn't so up on that. Says, I don't know, it's not safe these days. I feel comfortable if they're traveling with us, but I don't feel comfortable if they're traveling, let's say, with grandma and grandpa or their cousins and they're going clear across, the United States or wherever. And so we may not be fighting about the same thing, or we may be defending something that we're not even aware of. Because maybe in my push to let our teenager go experience things, maybe I'm really, fighting about their independence or their ability to think for themselves. And I'm really fighting about their future self, that I want my child to be able to be street smart and handle themselves and be confident out in the world. Because maybe it's tapping into something for me that I didn't feel street smart or I felt limited by my parents. Okay. And so we're really not fighting about the kid. Sometimes we're really talking and bringing up issues about ourselves. And maybe my spouse or partner isn't fighting about um, the crime or the potential for infection or accidents, or maybe they aren't fighting about that they don't trust the driving ability of parents or friends. Maybe they're fighting about the fear of losing their child. Maybe they're feeling concerned that they're not showing up as a father or mother, whoever it might be, and that they aren't there to protect their child. And so they're really fighting about their identity as a parent. All right. So when we get these things that are easy to shift and talk about and say, hey, I think we can resolve this one, that's great. Put it on a list. And okay, we're going to come back to it. This is not the time to solve all of it. But as you're coming up with these things that you continually to kind of butt heads, or we know don't go there if you want to have a nice evening, we want to pin drop that, write that out, and then each of you, if there's two people that are participating, but if you're starting this on this program on your own, it's okay. Dig a little deeper. What does this thing mean to you? What are you feeling? What words are you using? Now, if you might have noticed when I was talking about it, I said words like should. They should be allowed. All right. When we use these absolutes, or we use words like I feel like my child should be street smart, or I feel that to keep them here would be making them trapped. When I use feel words, absolutes words, should, never, always, those typically are something deeper. And we need to tease them apart and get more accurate on what that is. So your homework assignment for today and this week is to identify the topics that are easy to give, because we'll go back and we can then get those resolved simply, maybe be able to put them on the shelf or realize we don't even need to have a hard conversation about them. And then we're going to grab these unresolvables for now and do a deeper dive so that then we can show up to our sweetheart or spouse and say, hey, I think I understand why I'm so adamant about our kid going with the cousins to the trip in August or September or wherever it is. And here's what I think is going on for me. Gives them a window inside you, gives you a window inside what's going on for you. And then we can just identify, is this accurate to this situation, or is it more my own stuff that needs to be unpacked and talked about? Okay. So I hope this has been helpful. I will see you tomorrow. And if you have questions, please reach out to me. If this is of interest and you'd like to learn more about how to get these things off your guys' plate and either on the shelf because they're handled or in a place that's safe and cozy, and you're wanting to have the connected conversation instead of a disconnecting conflict, DM me, join me in my Reignite couples program where we learn how to interrupt these patterns, how to reconnect, redesign, and come together in a way that creates passion, friendship again, companionship, and fun. Okay, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.